Islam, Islamism. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rahmanir rahim. Subhanallah. Ever seeking refuge from the curse of Satan in the name of Allah. Arise, give all praise to Allah, the cherisher and sustainer of the worlds, most gracious, most merciful. The cause of his cause and the rootless root from whom all life comes, to whom all life returns. Allah, Allah-Had, the one. Arise, give honor to all the true and divine prophets from all times and climes, those who are known to us as well as those who are unknown to us. And our messengers of nationality, our messenger of nationality, birthright, and divine creed in this day and time, our warner and redeemer, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honor to my brother and sister Adams, my brother and sister deputy officers, members, card-carrying, non-card-carrying, all brothers and sisters, families joining us for our National Holy Night Call, sponsored by the Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America, Incorporated number 13, the Moorish American National Republic. Welcome to our National Holy Night Call. At this time, all who are able, please stand erect, facing the east. Our heels are together. Our toes are separated at a 45-degree angle. Our upper arms are parallel to the floor, with our forearms perpendicular thereto, with 5 fingers erect and together on the left hand, 2 fingers erect and together on the right hand, for our Moorish American prayer, Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, through Ali. Ameen. Peace. Islam, the crescent star of salvation, the all-seeing eye of Allah, handpress of unity. Moorish Science Temple of America, Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Act 1. Grand Sheikh and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All members of SPANA, all meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God, Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members all members must obey the laws of the Constitution of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live a life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. Thus, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they must know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble to Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a portion of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and become a part of the uplifting and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, noble to Ali, to the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Alhamdulillah. At this time, if my brother, Deputy Sheikh McCalvey, is on the line, I turn the floor to him for the reading of our questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans. Islam, Brother Deputy Sheikh, if you're with us, star, unmute your phone.
La ilaha illallah, Muhammadan Rasulullah. How you doing, brother?
I'm blessed. Deputy Sheikh, and yourself, my brother.
Peaceful, boy. Islam.
Islam. Floor is yours. Thank you, more.
Holy man, Bismillah, Rahman Rahim. Ever rising, seeking a refuge from the curse. Rising to my highest heights, giving perfect eyes to Allah, the cherisher of all worlds. Honoring all true and divine prophets, seen, unseen, known, unknown, and reincarnated, and to illustrious Hebrew prophets, bringing us nationality and birthright, prophet, noble, Jew, all I. Also giving you honors to one as I do, our National Grand Sheikh General Grattan Bay, and our officers in Baltimore and other republics, our Sheikhs, our children, family, guests, visitors on the call. Shout out to Mark of the Messiah, God with the forerunner, and to the ancient spirit that guides us through these turbulent times. I am Deputy Sheikh Mikhail Mashiach Bay, hailing from the Empire Republic, greeting all in love with Islam. I'll be reading the additional laws for the Moorish Americans by Prophet Noble to Allah, Islam. Act 1. Grand Sheikhs and governors and all the heads of all temples. SubhanAllah. Grand Sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble to Allah before acted upon by any members, let it be finance, property, or in a line of life, cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc. That will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their audit meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he'll be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If a member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire, and let every member exercises his five senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Act 6 with us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they must know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble July, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all of the acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple, and then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of one humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, noble Jew, Allah, through the guidance of his Allah. Holy Emmanuel, happy holy day to all my brothers and sisters on the phone and all the Muslims all over the world. Here ends the reading of our divine constitution, additional laws. Islam, turn the floor to the divine minister. Islam,
Islam, thank you for the Death Sheet for that read. Again, we welcome each and every one of you to, we say, blessed holy night, Jummah Mubarak, and Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you. Welcome to the National Holy Night Call, sponsored by the Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, Moorish American National Republic. This is the call where we hope you invite your friends and family. If you can't make it to your temple, we are here for you. So we're blessed to have you with us this evening. Again, I am your brother, Sheikh Rami Abdelrahim, Sheikh Rami Divine Minister, sitting in with you this evening to share this particular call. And as we heard, our brother Deputy Sheikh McCalvey is also with us in the reading. So at this time, I want to open the floor to everyone, that all members are expected to identify themselves, and guests and visitors, we encourage you to tell us who you are and where you're calling. So, and before we start that, let me say congratulations to those members who are now deputy officers. Congratulations, you deserve the elevation. So, opening the floor, tell us who you are, from where you're calling. Members, we expect to hear from you.
Hello. Are you?
Yes.
American Republic. Boy. Okay. Republic. I like it. Boy, love, use, peace, freedom, and justice. I'm a door again, and I don't be shit when I ever day to heart of Shirley Army PBT.
Yo, peace. Thank you, Sister Nara Sanders Bay, for joining us this evening. We wouldn't know what to do without you. Thank you. Islam, the floor is still open.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. All is well, Divine Minister.
Alhamdulillah, beloved, all is well. And yourself?
All is truly well. Thank you for asking.
Alhamdulillah.
This is Sister Islam. This is Sister Rochelle Waite calling from the New Jersey Republic. I'd like to say happy holy night to all of the Muslims on the call and around the world. And I'd like to also give my congratulations to all the new national officials. Well deserved, and continue guiding us. Islam and peace.
Islam. Welcome, Sister Waite.
Islam,
Islam.
And happy. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Congratulations. Islam.
And Minister.
Go ahead, Brother Georgia, I think.
Brother Edwin Georgia, coming out of Quebec Republic, wishing a blessed holy night to all the Moors on the call, and all Moors around the world, and all the officials of the Moorish Science Temple. I say Islam and peace. Happy holy night.
Islam, Brother Georgia. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad to hear your voice. Islam, I heard it.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Islam, Divine Minister, all is well.
All is well, Brother Deputy Sheikh Bay 44. Islam.
Islam, good to hear your vibrations, this creation.
Thanks. He believes so more.
Islam. Islam family, this is your brother, Deputy Sheikh, Mainstream Gray Bay 44, and I'm calling out of the Massachusetts Commonwealth. Just like to wish all the Moors on the call, all the Moors around the world, happy holy day and holy night. And I say Islam and peace.
Islam, Deputy Sheikh, thank you for joining us. Happy with us as ever. Islam. Floor still open, Moors.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. This is Deputy Sheikh Ariana Sanders Bay checking in. I just wanted to say happy holy day and happy holy night to all the Moors on the call. And I also have another announcement to make, but can I make that now?
Hold the announcement until after the check-in, beloved. Come right back after.
It's just a message from Deputy Sheikh Cornelius because he's not able to be on the call right now.
Go ahead. I got you. So the Deputy Sheikh is sending us his greetings. He's not going to be with us this evening.
Yes.
All right. We receive it. We mark his presence as being here, and thank you for sharing that.
Islam.
Islam and peace.
And peace, beloved.
Islam.
So remember, Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister, all is well.
All is well, beloved, in yourself.
All is well, thank you. Islam family, this is your sister, Carla Green Eel, Deputy Sheikh is from the Massachusetts Commonwealth, wishing a happy holy day and a happy holy night to all the Moors on the call and all the Muslims around the world. Shabbat Shalom, Islam and peace.
Islam, Deputy Sheikh, thank you for checking in. Glad to have you with us as ever. Islam Wars, star, meet your phone, tell us who you are, from where you're calling.
Islam.
Don't be shy. Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister. Islam. I'm Sheikh Lawrence Young Bay, National Treasurer and Divine Minister of the state of North Carolina. I wish everybody on the call and those who are unable to be on the call happy holy day and Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Oh, we are here today. Peace and blessings.
Islam to you and the wife. Glad to have you with us, the Divine Minister. Bless you.
Islam.
Islam, Moors. Line is still open. Star, meet your phone. Members, we expect you. Guests and visitors, we encourage you.
Islam.
Islam, beloved.
Islam. My name is Brother Christian Moore. I'm 8 years old, calling in public. Happy holy night, Islam and peace.
Islam, Brother Christian Almada Bay. Thank you for joining us, Mo Man. We're happy to hear from you. Islam. Islam, welcome. Islam, Morris.
Islam.
Yes, Mo, beloved. Yes, Islam.
Islam, this is Brother Kerry Pittman, calling out the Marion County, Florida Republic. Like to send a holy night to everybody on the call, everybody who will be joining us on the call. Just here out of love and peace.
Yo, we received that, Brother Kerry Pittman. Return it to 2004. Thank you much. Jump for joy.
Islam.
Islam, beloved.
Islam, this is Deputy Ashikis, Lakeisha Simpson Ill, calling out of the Wayne County, Michigan Republic. Just want to wish all the Moors a happy holy night. Islam and peace.
Islam, Deputy Ashikis Simpson Ill. Welcome. Glad to have you with us. Glad to hear your voice. Welcome.
Islam.
Islam, more.
Islam. This is Brother Demetrius Williams Hill, calling out of Massachusetts Commonwealth, sending out a happy holy night, happy holy day to all the Moors and to all the brothers and sisters who crossed the threshold of higher heights. Congratulations. Peace and love.
Islam, Brother Demetrius Williams Hill. Thank you more for your presence and your congratulations. Congratulatory statement. Islam, boss. Floor is open. Start.
Islam.
Islam.
Brother Sean Peterson L., calling out of Massachusetts Commonwealth. Want to give a happy holy night to all the brothers and sisters on the call. Islam.
Islam, Brother Peterson L. Welcome, more. Good to hear you as well. Alhamdulillah.
Islam.
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 Islam, Chief. All is well?
All is well. How are you today, Chief?
All is truly well. Good to hear your vibration tonight.
Alhamdulillah. Reflective of yours.
Thank you much. Brother Deputy Chief Michael Simpson Hill Jr., calling out of Wayne County, Michigan Republic. Simpson Hill family, just want to say happy holy night to all the Moors on the call and to all the Muslims around the world. Shabbat Shalom. Islam?
Islam. Thank you. We receive it and return it. Thank you, more.
Islam.
Islam.
This is Brother Gore Ill, calling from the South Carolina Republic. I'd like to wish all the Muslims on the call happy holy day, happy holy night. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Islam and peace.
Islam, Brother Gore Ill. Welcome, more. Blessed to hear you, man. Thank you for joining us. Islam, Morris. Door is open. Guests and visitors, we encourage you.
Islam.
Islam,
Divine Minister. I was just letting you know there's 30 participants on the call. Islam.
Thank you, beloved. Appreciate that. I heard another Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister. Trust and all is well with you and the family across the waters.
All is well, Deputy Chief. All is well.
Yes, glad to hear the vibrations and the powers force. Brother Cook Bay, Deputy Chief, calling for the Republic, family. Here to wish all Muslims, east, west, north, and south. Bless the holy day, bless the holy night. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. And love and honor to all those who took the elevation. Honors and respect, family. Love you all. Islam.
Islam. Receive those congratulatories and blessed to hear your voice, Brother Deputy Chief, you and the family. Islam, Moors, we got about half of those on the line checked in. Don't be shy. Is there a guest? Islam.
National Grand Sheik is in Kirkland Bay out of the Greenville County, South Carolina Republic, willing all the Moors on the call. Happy holy day, happy holy night. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, peace.
Islam, Brother Kirkland Bay, welcome. This is Sheikh Ramia Eel, Sheikh Ramaya Eel, Divine Minister, and not the Grand Sheik. Islam. Thank you more for the elevation. All right, Mo, star, mute your phone. The floor is yours. Islam.
Islam Divine Minister. This is Brother Curtis Douglas calling from the New York Republic and family. I want to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone on the call, and congratulations to everyone that's been promoted. Islam and peace.
Islam, brother Curtis Douglas, welcome. Good to hear you with us again. And
Islam.
Thanks for those stories. Islam, beloved. Go ahead.
Islam's brother Daryl Jenkins calling up Texas Republic. Just calling to wish all the family and the Moors a happy holy night, happy holy day. Islam.
Islam, brother Daryl Jenkins. Good to hear you again. Thank you for joining us and being so consistent. Welcome. Islam, Moors. Don't be shy. Islam.
Sister Darlene Gore Ill, calling out of South Carolina. Wish happy holy day, happy holy night to all the Muslims all around the world. Shabbat Shalom, Islam and peace.
Islam, Sister Gore Ill. Glad to have you, the better half of that Gore Ill family, joining us. Both of you Moors are well appreciative for being here. Islam, floor is still open, Moors. Don't be shy.
Islam?
We can hardly wait to meet you. Islam.
Islam, this is Sister Michelle Ewart calling from the New York Republic. I just wanted to wish a happy holy day, happy holy night to all the Muslims, love and peace, and also congratulations to all our newly appointed officials and the ones who've always been there doing the work. Thank you so much for all that you do. Islam.
Islam, Sister Michelle Ewart, thank you for your presence in those congratulatories as well. Give thanks. Islam, Moors, we are here. Let us share your presence, acknowledge your presence.
Islam.
The call. Islam.
Islam Divine Minister, all is well.
All is well, brother. How are you, man?
All is truly well. This is Brother Justin Levi Ill and the family out of Louisiana Republic. I'm just saying happy holy night to all the Moors, Muslims on the call and all over the world. Those who are not on the call, peace and love. Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks, Brother Levi Ill, for joining us, you and the family. It's good to have you with us. Shabbat Shalom. Islam, Moors, don't be shy. You know, we have a few more. We almost have about 30. Of course, we can't make you if you don't want to, but all members we do expect. Your presence is expected.
Islam?
So, all right.
Islam.
I got two of them here. One after. All right.
Gratitude, brother. This is Sheikh Kasim Bey from the Texas Republic. Happy holy night to all. And Islam Divine Minister, Prakoni Amalu.
Islam, brothers Kasim Bey, Sheikh Kasim Bey. Welcome. Glad to hear you with us more. Give thanks and praises.
Islam.
Islam.
Second Islam. Islam.
Islam. Thank you much.
Islam, go ahead, Mo. Yes, Mo.
Yes, Islam family. This is Brother Edward Walker Bey. It's great to hear your vibrations tonight, Divine Minister. I just wanted to check in on the call and say happy holy night to all the Moors. Islam and peace.
Islam, Brother Walker Bey, welcome. Glad to hear you with us, Moor. Thank you for joining us. Alhamdulillah. Lord, still open, Moors.
Islam. Marcus Widows Ill, called out of Connecticut Republic. Check your gig. Wishing all the Moors a happy holy night. Islam, peace.
Islam, Brother Reynolds Ill. Alhamdulillah. Good to hear you as well, Moor. To all family Moors. Floor is open. So we have about, let's see, it's at 24, 25, about 23 adults. We have about 23 adults and 2 of our children checked in. So alhamdulillah, that's it for now. We received that. We're blessed to have all of you with us, giving thanks and praises to the Most High that you took this time on a Friday evening to uplift yourself through these divine instructions that we share every Friday at this call. That being said, we'll come back to the check-in in a minute. Our next order of business is our unity, Shabbat unity prayer. Shabbat unity prayer, for those who may not be aware, is one of three prayers that come together, but it is particularly designed for the reading of those who have it. And you don't have to be a member to have it. If you want the prayer and you know someone who has it, and you're joining us every Friday, feel free to receive it from that member. If you don't know a member who has it, you can send an email to Divine Ministry, that's TRY, at Moorish American National Republic, with your request, and we will get one out to you there. As I said, the prayer is designed for reading every Friday, about a half hour after sunset. That it would be somewhere after the Maghrib prayer for those who make their prayers. We read it in order to put up the same concept, the same consciousness into the ethers every Friday. And doing so, as it says, the prayers go up, the blessings come down. So the more of us make the prayer, the more blessings we will receive collectively, individually as well, but collectively. So that being said, I'm looking for a reader for our Shabbat unity prayer this Friday. Islam, someone who has it. I know who usually reads it. I don't want to overburden you more, but looking for a reader for Shabbat unity prayer. Bring it in the seconds.
Hello?
Islam.
Islam.
Take up Islam, Brother Georgie. I think take that second Islam.
I yield more.
Thank you, brother. Deputy. Islam, is that Brother Giorgio checking in or stepping up?
Islam Divine Minister. Thank you much.
Thank you, Giorgio. The floor is yours.
I am Brother Edwin Giorgio, calling out of Quebec Republic, rising to my highest height, giving all perfect praise to our Mother, Father God, Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. While I remain standing, I give honors to all our ancestors, known and unknown. I give honors to all the divine prophets, beginning with Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, Confucius, and in these last days and time, our illustrious prophet, Honorable Noble Juwali, in the first, second, and third form. I'd like to remain standing and give all honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Joel Broughton Bay, and to all the officials at the Moorish Science Temple, all Sheikh and Sheikesses, Deputy Sheikh, Deputy Sheikesses, members, friends, family, and to all, I say, happy holy night to everyone. Bringing in during the Sabbath, Bismillah, in the name of Allah, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. O Most High, Thou the creators of all there is, Thou the all of life, the omniscient, the all providing, the all of love. We come to Thee this Sabbath Eve, grateful for Your imbuing us with the radiant substance of health these 7 days past, endowing us with the vibrant presence in all areas of our living. We thank Thee for the blessings of divine substance of wealth flowing into our lives these 7 days past, filling our lives with abundance and greatness. We thank you for all these blessings, and we bless thy name and worship thee and thee alone. We bless the creation past and pray thou wilt find our deeds, our work, our service to thee, approving in thy sight. By your grace, we love thee. We love thee. We love thee. O Most High, we bless the creation, yet manifesting, thanking thee for the breath of life and the radiant substance of health permeating our beings, endowing us with the vibrant presence in all areas of our lives, ever praying that our deeds, our work, our service to thee in this creation will be found approving in thy sight. Inshallah. We thank thee for the flow of the divine substance of wealth, this creation, filling our lives with abundance and greatness. We thank you. Truly without thee, the all-providing, we are lost. And with thee, the victory, the omnipotent, the victory is ever ours, inshallah. We thank you for your indwelling spirit, speaking and directing us to our best and highest good. May we ever hear your voice, heed your words, and manifest your will. May our hearts ever know thy presence, our minds overflow with thy thoughts, our eyes see thy divinity, our mouth speak thy words, and our hands accomplish thy work, our feet walk thy path. We thank you for the wisdom to know thy will, the fortitude to manifest thy will, the perseverance to persist in thy way until thy will be done. We love and thank you, Divine One. We love and thank you for every opportunity to serve thee, to accomplish thy will. Thy will be done. May thy indwelling spirit guide and protect us this creation as we build and manifest thy divine estate in the living now. Giving thanks and praises to thee and thee alone. We love thee. We love thee. We love thee, O Most High. Amen. Ashe. Amunra. Shila. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Brothers and sisters, this is the conclusion of our Holy Night prayer. I now return the floor to our moderator and divine minister, Islam.
Islam, Brother George Hill, thank you. It was well-paced and well-felt read. May Allah bless the reading of the divine constitution and bylaws, our additional laws, and our Shabbat unity prayer. Inshallah, amen. We so pray. Islam, before we move forward, anyone else will just joining us, wanting to check in with us, make your presence known. Now is a good time to do so before we proceed in our chapter for the evening. Islam, if you haven't checked in, star, mute your phone. What is your name, from where you're calling?
Islam.
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 Islam. Islam.
Brother Rockman here, Baltimore. Want to check in to this wonderful call. I'm proud to be a part of it. Hopefully we can derive a better understanding of just what we represent. Thank you, everyone, and be blessed. Be blessed and stay firm and continue in the fight. You know, we winning. We might not see it, but we winning. We winning. Victory is sure. Islam and peace, everybody.
Islam, welcome, Brother Rahmaniel.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the welcome.
Thank you. Blessed to hear your voice. Have you with us again, Mo. Alhamdulillah. Anyone else? I'll send you the phone. I'll start mute your phone.
Islam.
Your name, the calling. Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister, all is well?
All is well, Brother Eo, and yourself and the family?
All is truly well, good brother. Nice to hear your vibrations. Brother Joe Everett Hampton Ill from the Washington State Republic. Joe Everett Hampton Ill and family from the Washington State Republic. Wishing all the Moors on the call around the world. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Holy Day. And I love you all. Islam.
Islam, Brother Hampton and family, we love you as well. Thank you more for joining us, you and the family. Floor is still open, Wars. Before we go into our chapter, if you haven't checked in, it's a good time now. Tell us your name, from where you're calling.
Islam, Divine Minister.
Islam, Deputy Chief.
We have 37 participants now on the call. Islam.
Islam, all right, alhamdulillah. All members are expected, and our guests and visitors are encouraged. So 37 sounds good. Right now, out of 37, I think we have 20. Well, we're doing not bad. We have 28 adults and 2 of our children checked in. So we're doing pretty good. At this time, then, we'll move forward to our chapter for the evening, chapter 19. And of course, we're looking for a reader. We want to advise whoever is to read that there are some text corrections in some of our circle settings, and I will share those with you at this time. Verse 2, chapter 19, Jesus appears fully materialized. Verse 2, some of the books have the word with towards the end of the first line in verse 2. Strike that word with. It's redundant, and it should just read, went to India when 12 years old. Verse 19 is the next correct that we have. To complete the word, it added F at the end of the first line to make the word of. So at the end of the first line, it's the resurrect subhanAllah, to make the word of. Verse 19. Verse 31. It says, it's off register. It's the off register in some of the books. So the right margin may be incomplete. So we just want you to be aware of that. When it gets down to verse 31, we will help you if it is so. That being so, those are the text corrects we have for this chapter. And that's the case. We now look for someone to read. Islam, beloved.
Islam, Divine Minister. This is Sister Deputy Sheikah's Carla Green Ill from the Massachusetts Commonwealth. I'll read the chapter.
Thank you, Deputy Sheikah. The floor is yours. Give thanks.
Islam family. This is your sister, Deputy Sheikah Carla Green Ill from the Massachusetts Commonwealth. I rise to my highest heights and give all perfect praises to Allah, the Mother, Father, God of the universe. I give honors to ancestors known and unknown, recognizing and naming all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, Confucius, and our last prophet, in these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Ali, in his first, second, and third form. Extending honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Joe Bratton Bay, all of our national and local officials, all sheikhs, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, everyone on the call tonight, happy holy night. I greet you all with Islam. The Divine Instructions from the Holy Prophet, Chapter 19. Jesus appears, fully materialized, to the Eastern sages in the palace of the Prince Ravana in India, to the Magian priests in Persia. Three wise men speak in praise of the personality of the Nazarene. Ravana, Prince of India, gave a feast. His palace in Orissa was the place where men of thought from all the farther east were wont to meet. Ravana was the prince with whom the child Jesus went to India when he was 12 years old. The feast was made in honor of the wise men of the East. Among the guests were Islam, Menjes, Vidyapati, and Namas. The wise men sat about the table talking about the needs of India and the world. The door unto the banquet hall was in the east. A vacant chair was at the table to the east. And as the wise men talked, a stranger entered, unannounced, and raising up his hands in benediction, said, "All hail." A halo rested on his head, and light, unlike the light of sun, filled all the room. And Jesus sat down in the vacant chair. And then the wise men knew it was the Jewish prophet who had come. And Jesus said, "Behold, for I am risen from the dead. Look at my hands, my feet, my side. The Roman soldiers pierced my hands and feet with nails, and then one pierced my heart. They put me in a tomb, and then I wrestled with the conqueror of men. I conquered death. I stamped upon him and arose, brought immortality to light, and painted on the walls of time a rainbow for the sons of men. And what I did, all men shall do." The gospel of the resurrection of the dead is not confined to Jew and Greek. It is the heritage of every man, of every time and clime. And I am here a demonstrator of the power of man. Then he arose and pressed the hand of every man and of the royal host and said, "Behold, I am not myth made of fleeting winds, for I am flesh and bone and brawn, but I can cross the borderland at will." And they talked together there a long, long time. Then Jesus said, "I go my way, but you shall go to all the world and teach the gospel of the omnipotence of man, the power of truth, the resurrection of the dead. He who believes this gospel of the Son of Man shall never die. The dead shall live again." Then Jesus disappeared, but he had sown the seed. The words of life were spoken in Orissa, and all of India heard. The Magian priests were in the silence of Persepolis, Islam, Persepolis, and Casper, and the Magian masters, who were first to greet the child of promise in the shepherd's home in Bethlehem, were with the priests. And Jesus came and sat with them. A crown of light was on his head. And when the silence ended, Casper said, a master from the royal council of the Silent Brotherhood is here. Let us give praise." And all the priests and masters stood and said, "All hail. What message from the royal council do you bring?" And Jesus said, "My brothers of the Silent Brotherhood, peace on earth, goodwill to men. The problem of the age has been solved. A Son of Man has risen from the dead. has shown the human flesh can be transformed into flesh divine. Before the eyes of men, this flesh in which I come to you was changed with speed of light from human flesh. And so I am the message that I bring to you. To you I come, the first of all the race to be transmuted to the image of Allah. What I have done, all men will do, and what I am, all men shall be. But Jesus said no more. In one short breath, he told the story of his mission to the sons of men, and then he disappeared. The Magi said, some time ago, we read this promise now fulfilled upon the dial plate of heaven. And then we saw this man who has just demonstrated unto us the power of man to raise from carnal flesh and blood to flesh of Allah, a babe in Bethlehem. And after many years, he came and sat with us in these same groves. He told the story of his human life, of trials, sore temptation, buffeting, and woes. He pressed along the thorny way of life till he had risen and overthrown the strongest foes of Allah and man. And he is now the only master of the human race whose flesh has been transmuted into flesh divine. He is the God, man of today. But everyone of earth shall overcome and be like him, a son of Allah. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age, and the events after he had risen from the dead. He appeared back to India, Europe, and Africa, and the land of Egypt, and made himself known unto the world. These events are the 18 years which are absent in your Holy Bible. The events of John the Baptist, John taught by the Egyptian sage, the meaning of baptism and how to baptize himself. And after he was baptized, he was taken at the age of 12 into Africa, the land of Europe, and there he remained in the Egyptian schools 18 years. And there he learned his duty as forerunner of Jesus. Islam, that concludes the reading of the chapter. I return the floor to the Divine Minister. Islam and peace.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Carla Greenhill, for that well-placed read. Appreciate Lucky. And chapter 19. The chapter is full. First, the site of the first appearance of Jesus, Yashua, is the palace of Prince Ravana, the mentor who, with Mary and Joseph's permission, took the young master to India, where, under his sponsorship and tutelage, young Adam's mystic training was begun. A feast in honor of the wise men of the East is in progress, and among the guests is one mainstay, known according to reference materials as the greatest sage in all the farther East, who resided at that time in Lhasa, Tibet. Mainstay reflects and represents Confucius on our nationality identification card. Also in attendance are the Vidyapati, whom we met in chapter 11, the wisest of the Indian sages and chief of the temple, Kapavistu, Lamas Brahmas, the priest, to whom Yeshua, Jesus, through answers to 6 questions, communicated the meaning of truth. Verses 5 to 10 then speak to the hall, its occupants, their mood, and the arrival of the Christ to the gathering. Yeshua sits in the vacant chair reserved for the one so honored and proceeds to share his experience in verses 11 through 15 with the promise that, quote, what I did, all men can do, end quote. And of course, that men is masculine, feminine, inclusive. Now, in verses 16 and 17, he confirms the universality of his message, impressing the hand of all there, perhaps to reassure them of his being flesh and bone and brawn, who can, quote, cross the borderline at will, end quote. The Ascended One communes with those gathered, and verses 18 to 21 subsequently charges them to teach the gospel of omnipotence, power, resurrection, restating the promise that the dead shall live again, afterwards disappearing with all of India hearing his words. Next, we are taken to Persepolis, in those days the capital of Persia, which, because it was considered an inconvenient royal residence, was visited mainly in the spring. Perhaps this is why we find the priests are in silence there. Also present are Casper, Balthasar, and Melchior, the three Magian priests who visited the divine family at the time of Ben Yeshua's birth, warning them of Herod's plan. All are in silence with the Illumined One when the Illumined One arrives, joining them in their silence. Casper is first to speak, acknowledging the Christ, and all hail the Anointed One and ask of his message from the royal council, to which Isa, Jesus, yet again shares his message of the oneness of Allah and man, and man's need to move closer to Allah and away from his own carnal self. The message of transforming human flesh into flesh divine at the speed of light. Moors, we must be the message we bring. After the messenger takes leave of the party, the three kings take the floor in testimony to the life and achievements of the Christ, observing that, quote, everyone on earth shall overcome and be like him, a child of Allah. So, with all the lengthiness of this chapter, chapter 19, the message is very simple and very clear. It is a recounting of an event. And with that, I open the floor. Well, before I open the floor, first I open the floor to anyone who has joined us and wishes to check in. Make your presence known. Star, meet your phone. Tell us your name and from where you're calling. Subsequently, I open the floor to those who wish to exercise their five senses.
Islam, Brother Andre Wimbush, Detroit, Michigan. Let her give praises. Allah honors the blood prophet. First, second, third form. Honors that was previously given. Praise Allah, Islam.
Islam, Brother Wimbush, welcome. Glad to hear you again more. Always blessed to hear your presence. Anyone else joining us at this time?
Islam. Islam, Divine Minister, all is well?
All is well, beloved. What's up?
Islam, this is Geraldine McCurry Bay from the Washington State Republic. Just want to check in and say happy holy day to everybody.
In Islam, this is Brother Lester McCurry Bay, also from Washington State Republic. I'd like to say happy holy day to all the Moors and on the call with love and peace. Islam.
Islam, sister and brother McCurry Bay. You said also, we sure that she's in Washington, you're in Washington. Anyway, alhamdulillah, welcome, Moors. Glad to have you with us. Glad to have you with us. Alhamdulillah, welcome. Anyone else joining us at this time?
Islam, this is Sister Tess Pittman calling out of Marion County, Florida Republic. I just want to say happy holy day to everyone on the line. Shabbat shalom and peace, peace, peace.
Islam, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Good to hear your voice. Islam, go ahead, Moore.
Islam, Rico Moore from Phoenix, Arizona, public. Checking in.
Islam Moore, I missed your name, from Arizona Republic.
Rico Moore.
I don't know. It sounds like Zeke or Moore. That's what it sounds like.
Rico Mori.
Rico Mori. Okay, Brother Rico Mori. I heard that time. All right, Brother Rico Mori. Thank you for joining us, boy. Glad to have you with us.
Islam, bro.
Islam?
Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister. All is well?
All is well, beloved. How are you, beloved?
All is truly well, Divine One. I just chimed in. Just wanted to say Islam to the family. Happy Holy Night. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. This is Deputy Sheikess Norma Solomon Ill. Just wanted to give my love to the family. Peace and love.
Islam, Deputy Sheikess, welcome. Glad to hear your voice. Know you're with us. Give thanks.
Islam.
Islam, anyone else checking in before we proceed? All praises due. Welcome to all those who are with us, who have just joined us. Glad to hear you and have you. So be it. Let us now open the floor to those who wish to exercise their 5 senses on our chapter this evening, chapter 19. Islam, don't be shy, Moors. Remember that which Allah puts on your heart is correct and right. Don't feel that you're not Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister. Pardon for interrupting.
No, go ahead, Moore, please.
Islam. This is Brother Cook Bay, Deputy Sheikh, calling us for the Republic. First on the rise to give all praise to Allah, Mother, Father, God of the universe, Grand Architect of the universe, boundless universe, giving all honors to our true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, and last illustrious prophet in these days and times, the Hebrew prophet, the Green One, the Avatar, the Kemet and Adept from the order of Melchizedek, brought us nationality and birthrights. Also giving honors to the Harbinger John Marcus Messiah Garvey, and also extending those honors to our National Grand Sheikh Joe Bratton Bay and all officials from Baltimore and Republic, Temple 13, doing the work seen and unseen, giving thanks for the fire continuing to be blazed. Giving thanks for the commentary from our Divine Sheikh, Divine Minister. Beautiful, beautiful commentary. Honors to all Sheikhs and Sheikhs, Deputy Sheikhs and Sheikhesses, all those who have been elevated for the true inspiration of their true selves. All guests on the call, all members, students, children. This is Brother Cook Bay, Deputy Sheikh. This is a very beautiful, powerful chapter, and the more I read this Book of Secrets, Circle 7, and the more we look into the definitions and the depths of what was given to us by the divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the more inner and deeper we elevate mentally, because it's mental slavery that we're in now that we have to overcome and become one with the Father, God Allah. But this chapter 19, Jesus appears fully materialized to the Eastern sages in the palace of Prince Ravana in India, to the Magian priests in Persia. 3 wise men speak in praise of the personality of the Nazarene. Before I go into the demonstration, I just want to break down certain definitions. Fully materialized means, it's a verb, means to become visible, to appear especially in a sudden or magical way, to begin to happen or exist, to occur or become real. And the transitive verb means to cause to appear in bodily form. And the intransitive verb, to assume bodily form, to appear especially suddenly, to come into existence. And the synonyms to that is actualize, appear, arise, begin, break, commence, dawn, engender, form, originate, set in, spring, start. And we have references, verse 17 in chapter 19. Chapter 17, justice appears fully materialized. Chapter 17, verse 13. My human flesh was changed to higher form by love divine, and I can manifest in flesh. or in the higher planes of life at will. Verse 35 of chapter 17. In flesh of man there is the essence of the resurrection of the dead. This essence, quickened by the holy breath, which we know is truth, will raise the substance of the body to the higher tone. Verse 36, and make it like the substance of the bodies to the planes above, which human eyes cannot behold. Human eyes, I would say, would be the carnal eyes. Verse 31, the Nazarite appeared and stood upon a sacred pedestal on which no man had ever stood until he broke the seal. So we see this chapter in Ravana's palace in Orissa. It was a place where men and women of thought from all the farther east went to study and interact, basically sharpening each other's intellect. Now, Ravana was the same royal prince who got permission from Mary and Joseph to take the young Jesus at that time of 12 years of age to India to study the Vedas and the Brahmic law. And we see that in chapter 6. Now, as far as the Vedas and the Brahmic law, to understand the more in-depth details of which the Christian churches had never taught us, what the Brahmic law basically was, they were the highest priestly caste that adhered to the principles such as the acceptance of the Vedas. They had reverence and recognition of the fact that the means or ways to salvation and realization of the truth are diverse, that the great God is one. The Brahmins works for the welfare of the entire society. They practice yoga, nonviolence, vegetarianism, etc. Everything in the daily life of a Brahmin is a ritual, and they are traditionally priests, artists, teachers, and technicians engaged in attaining the highest spiritual knowledge. And we see he also was a master of the Vedas, which means wisdom, knowledge, or vision, and it manifests the language of the gods in human speech, known as the earliest documents of the human mind. Now, the Vedas consisted of the insights of the Vedic scriptures, literature, which deals with all aspects of life, including spirituality, philosophy, yoga, religion, rituals, temples, arts, culture, music, dance, grammar, pronunciation, metry, astrology, astronomy, logic, law, medicine, surgery, technology, martial arts, military strategy, etc. The great interest basically in learning. So we know that the prophet Jesus, Isa, Yashua, mastered all of these lessons. Now, verse 3, the feast was made in honor of the wise men of the East. Verse 4, among the guests were Majesti, also known as Mencius, from China. Now, they all sat about the table in Vidyapati and Lamas Brahmas, which goes back to chapter 7 for the details of Lamas Brahmas. Now, they all sat about the table, and we could see that could be like considered the round table, and the legends and myths about King Arthur and the round table, speaking about the needs of India and the world. Basically, what is to come and what is to become. The door into the banquet hall was in the east. A vacant chair was at the table of the east. Verse 9, and Jesus, Isa, sat down in the vacant chair, which was located in the east. And we go to 101 keys, and we see, it says here, key 35, where do we get the name Jesus? From the east. And verse 36, what does the name Jesus mean? Jesus means justice. Now, the esoteric meaning of the word east, which I come to research and find out, which was a aha moment, it means the east is actually symbolic. It means it governs a spiritual awakening, new beginnings, moving to a higher level of awareness and spiritual wisdom. The sun is dawning on a sleeping soul, embracing us with warmth and divine light. As our higher self awakens, we begin to see unlimited potential everywhere, including in ourselves. Now we see that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali always emphasized and told us that know thyself and thy Father God Allah. Verse 13, they think they crucified him, but they crucified him not. And verse 13 quotes, they put me in a tomb, and when I wrestled with the conqueror of men, I conquered death. I stamped upon him and arose. So they thought they crucified him, but they crucified him not. He was in a coma state, went through the ordeals of death, because what he went through and the abuse that he went through physically and mentally, no one thought that he would be able to survive. Now, seeing he went through these different mystery schools and learned and mastered these different sciences, and they that came to the tomb with frank incense and myrrh and aloes, going back to chapter 18, they were doing what we call a regeneration ritual of the flesh. And it's known in ancient times, ancient shamans, even to this day, the ancient shamans and monks did these rituals on ones who became unconscious through some type of situation and revived the flesh while the spirit was journeying. Now, as far as him being part of the Royal Council of the Silent Brotherhood, we also see that he went through the different trials and tribulations and to prove that we, male and female, in the flesh, can manifest these works. And that was actually manifested and brought forth into the reality with our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Now, the Silent Brotherhood was said to be supernatural beings of great power who spread spiritual teachings through selected human beings, a secret organization of enlightened mystics guiding the spiritual development of the human race. And this body of mystics remained active after physical death on earth. They were also known as the Council of Light, and they represent the crown of human achievement, and they have dedicated or levicated their lives to the salvation of the human race. And many of them come from the stars, while others come from other planets within our own solar system, members of the heavenly host. Now, coming through the Christian religion growing up, what we've been taught, the religion of our slave masters, the whole purpose was not to inform us or to let us decalcify our pineal gland of awakening to the true resurrection of the divine mind to become the manifestation of the great God Allah in flesh. Prophet Isa, he actually came and conquered that and showed and broke the Roman seal and showed that we are able to manifest these works, because he was on different sciences that many will call today, or seem to think that is spookism. But no, he actually went through these mystery schools and mastered these lessons and these teachings and became a manifestation of such truth. And we can see different references in let me see here, verse 16. Then he arose and pressed the hand of every man of the royal host.
It's my brother, Deputy Sheik.
Yes.
I hate to interrupt you more, but I must, for time's sake. We want to make sure that other members have the opportunity to exercise as well. I'm appreciating the sharing that you're doing, a lot of information you're sharing. I will say if no one else wants to exercise, we'll bring you back to the floor and finish your demonstration. But we want to make sure everyone gets a chance who wants to. Yes, who desires to this evening.
Islam, Divine Minister, surely give thanks. Now go ahead to, so, yes, it's very deep. Pardon me. It's just so divinely spoken. I'll just go ahead and close with this. Verse 36, he pressed along the thorny way of life till he had risen and overthrown the strongest of foes of Allah and man. And he is now the only master of the human race whose flesh has been transmuted into flesh divine. And that connects back to chapter 1 when it says, perfected man must pass through all the ways of life, and so carnal was full manifest, a nature that sprang forth from fleshly things. Without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength, and thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so this carnal nature soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be the strength of Allah made manifest. And with that, Islam and light, I'm trusting it will inspire other great minds to manifest Islam.
Islam, the Deputy Chief Cook Bay. Thank you, boy. You gave us enough pearls if we were taking notes. We have a lot to look into and check up for ourselves. Giving thanks for your presence. Islam was, and open the floor for anyone else wishes to demonstrate. Exercise your 5 senses on this chapter.
Islam.
Islam, Deputy Chief, go ahead.
Islam, Divine Minister, all is well?
All is well, Deputy Chief. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Islam, I'm Deputy Sheikah Carolyn Youngbay, calling out of Wayne County, North Carolina Republic. First I rise, giving all perfect praises to Allah, to all of our ancestors, known and unknown, to all of our true and divine prophets, naming and recognizing Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, and Confucius, and the last prophet in these days and times, our Redeemer, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Drew Ali, in the first, second, and third form. I extend my honors to the forerunner for Noble Drew Ali, Marcus Mosier Garvey, and to our National Grand Sheikh, Joel Bratton Bey, to all of our national officials, to the sheikhs, sheikesses, deputy sheikhs, deputy sheikesses, brothers, sisters, visitors, and guests, and parents and students in our Sunday school, and everyone on the call. I greet you all with Islam, Islam, Islam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. First, I just wanted to congratulate those that have been elevated. We do apologize, the Divine Minister and myself, that we couldn't be there, but we do send our love and our gratitude and our just thanking you guys for being faithful and being elevated to another level, Islam. I just wanted to give a little bit of the understanding that I got from this chapter, chapter 19. And I also wanted to thank Deputy Sheikah Carla Green-Ill for that beautiful read of chapter 19, and our Deputy Sheikh Cook Bay for that beautiful demonstration. I wanted to go to verse 19. I go my way, but you shall go to all the world and teach the gospel of the omnipotence of man, the power of truth, the resurrection of the dead. And using my 5 senses, and again to my understanding, when Jesus said, I go my way, I took that to mean that, in other words, I've done what I've come to do, which was to show the possibilities of man. And Jesus was telling them, now you teach all the world everything that I've taught you. And teaching because his teaching was universal, he wanted them to go to the all 4 corners of the world and teach the things that he had taught, to teach the gospel of the omnipotence of man, to me, meaning the power of man to stand in his higher self with a fixed heart and not be tempted by the tempter. Jesus said in chapter 17, verses 10 through 12, behold, for I have risen from the dead with gifts for men. I bring to you the title of your vast estate. All power in heaven and earth is mine. To you I give all power in heaven and earth. Go forth and teach the nations of the earth the gospel of the resurrection of the dead and the eternal life through Jesus, the love of Allah made manifest. So to me, he was resurrecting the dead state of mind of the people to come to a godlike consciousness and to teach the power of truth. In our 101 questionnaire, key number 47 says, what is truth? Truth is art. Key 48, what is art? Art is Allah. So to me, that meant teach the power of Allah through all of his divine principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as our little angel Sister Anara Sanders Bay so beautifully demonstrated to us, which are the highest principles known to man, which our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, brought us as to reacquaint us with the ancient teachings of our forefathers by giving us these lessons to instruct us to shake loose these chains and shackles of our mind that were placed on us by this European psychology, and to bring us back to divine truth and a Christ-like consciousness and a greater sense of self and our Father God of love. And with that, I say peace.
Islam. Dr. Sheikh Young Day, thank you for that sharing. Thank you for that divine sharing. We'll call it. Alhamdulillah. The floor is still open, brothers and sisters. Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister.
Islam. I think Brother Duchess, you have the floor.
Islam. I'd like to rise to my highest heights, giving all praise and acknowledgement to the divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, and our last prophet in these days and time, Noble Drew Ali, in the first, second, and third form. I want to remain standing and give thanks and acknowledgement to all officials, sheikh, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, members, guests, students, all of the guidance of our National Grand Sheikh Joe Bratton Bay, Islam and peace. Beautiful demonstration. I definitely want to concur by both deputy sheikesses as well as Brother Cook Bay, and profound information and lesson. I just want to be direct in as much as possible because I do want to hear what everyone else has to say as well. What came to my mind was two aspects. When you talk about the silent brotherhood, we know that today a lot of the information is kept in quote-unquote Masonic lodges. And on their symbol, they have the seventh letter in the alphabet, which is the G, marriage between both the compass and the square. So when he speaks about Jesus having a halo around his head, that light that pretty much brought illumination when he entered the room initially, he basically identified himself as an adept. So is Noble Drew Ali, an adept master, and we know that by the fact that he stood on the 9. So we know a circle has 36 degrees. 3 and 6 is 9. So Noble Drew Ali standing on the 9 is pretty much now saying he's standing on the circle, but also it's a square. 360 is also the demonstration, the degrees of a square. In touching base with what the Deputy Sheikh Young Bay, with Karen Young Bay was mentioning, what brought to mind when she demonstrated was the only begotten Son. In the scripture, it talks about Jesus being the only begotten, S-O-N. So we know that when we study deep spirituality, the gender is not a matter of what we look at physically, because that would be the physical square. So in essence, we know that the physical body get guided by the S-U-N. In spirituality, that inner light that these men saw initially was that inner illumination, because all 7 chakras were cleansed. Going back to Brother Kabay, the diet, the food that we eat. So as Moorish American, when we allow ourselves to now be in compliance with what Noble Drew Ali demonstrated, that we need to keep our bodies clean with water and our mind clean with love, it's the same degree that's being demonstrated here, because Jesus basically became justice, based on the 101. But once again, the Circle 7 imagery on the cover of the Circle 7 has both the compass and the square on it. And what I mean by that is the 4 cardinal points would be the square, and the circle clearly is that demonstration. And the last 5 of the 101 questions, who is Elohim? Elohim is the 7 created spirits that created everything that is, everything that ever was, is, and evermore to be. What is Elohim? Sometimes called the 7 eyes of Allah. How many days are in the circle? 7 days. How many days are in a creation? 7 days. According to science, how many days are in a year? 7 days. Jesus demonstrated that in this actual chapter, because he pretty much now no longer had a shadow. And what I mean by that is, when you go back a little bit, it says, who made the devil? 96. Elohim. Who is Elohim? Elohim is the 7 created spirits. Is the devil made in the image and likeness of Allah? No. He is the shadow of our lower selves and will pass away. That is 95. So Jesus' shadow passed away because he went and dealt with all his foes, all his insecurities, etc. And he's now standing on the square, just like Noble Drawing on that 9. He's no longer casting a shadow, just like 12 o'clock. So when he talks about that circle and that east, he was standing in a central position, just like if you were to look at the Star of Solomon, as above, so below. He stood on that 7. He no longer cast a shadow, and when we do that, that is called ascension. Islam and peace. Back to moderator.
Islam, Brother Douglas. Thank you, man. That was a rapid drop, but if people were taking notes, they got a lot from your drop. Please love you more. Thank you. Floor is still open, beloved. Floor is still open. Don't be shy. Exercise your 5 senses. If you just joined the call, you're welcome to check in at this time. Islam. Exercise your 5 senses is a serious chapter of Jesus materializing some of the science that the members of WCCs have shared. Serious science, serious knowledge, understanding, as Brother Douglas just said, the commonality of the circle and the square, both having 3 degrees. And the symbols, the workshop of the mind in chapter 5, where it talks about the compass, the square, and more, the hammer, the plane, and more. Floor is still open, beloved. Floor is still open. Remember to mute your phone if you're not talking, please. And if we're not, no one has anything to say, and no one else, I'll give it back to Deputy Chief Cook, but he wasn't finished, but we had to slow it up, but the floor is open for you to exercise your 5 senses. Don't be shy. Everyone gets something out of these readings, but most of us think that we're incapable of sharing, or that which we have to share is not of consequence, and that's not so. So we're here, share with your brothers and sisters what's on your heart. Islam? Alhamdulillah. Don't be shy, Moors. Chapter 19 is a serious chapter, as they all are. In these last 3, they'll speak to events happening after the so-called interment, crucifixion and interment. Brother Shikukbe mentioned the aloe and the myrrh that were used. That's out of the biblical scriptures, which indicate to us that the body was not dead, because those are not, aloe and myrrh are not the herbs that are used for the preparation of burial after one has died. Those are herbs we use to maintain health and well-being. The floor is open. Exercise your 5 senses.
Islam.
Islam. Go ahead, brother.
First, I rise, giving all perfect praises to Allah, and to all His true and divine prophets, from Sheikh Lawrence Youngberg, National Treasurer and Divine Minister, out of the North Carolina Republic. Well, first, I rise, giving all perfect praises to Allah, to all His true and divine prophets, and to all, just to name a few, Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, and Confucius, and the last prophet in these days and times, Prophet Al-Redeemer, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Jew Allah, the first, the second, and the third, whom I extend my honors to the forerunner for Noble Jew Allah, Marcus Mosaic Garvey, and to our National Grand Sheikh Joe Bratton Bay, to our Grand Body, to our Sheikhs, Sheikhesses, Deputy Sheikhs and Deputy Sheikhesses, brothers and sisters, parents, and students of our Sunday school, everyone on the call, I greet you with Islam, Islam, Islam. Happy Holy Night to all on the call and all the Muslims around the world, and all who wish they could be on the call. I'd like to say congratulations to those who got elevated, our brothers, Deputy Sheikhs and Deputy Sheikhesses, Islam, Shabbat Salam. I'd like to touch on out of the chapter 19, out of verse 21. Then Jesus disappeared, but he had sown the seed. The word of his life was spoken in Orissa, and all of India heard. I just like to touch on this a little bit. The thoughts of Allah are the everlasting of the past unto the never-ending days to come, and so is man, the spirit man. But man is like every other thought of Allah, was but a seed that held within itself the potencies of Allah. Just as the seed of any other plant of earth holds deep within itself the attributes of every part of that special plant. So spirit man, as seed of Allah, held deep within himself the attributes of every part of Allah. Now seeds are perfect, yeah, as perfect as the source from which they come, but they are not unfolded unto life until manifest. The child is as perfect as a mother is. So man, the seed, must be deeply planted in a soil that he might grow, unfold, as does the bud unfold to show the flower. The human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah was fully ordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. I said that to contribute to the chapter when Jesus sowed the seed, and when he left that seed, that was he left a seed of truth, which the sister said, Sister Deputy Sheikah Curlin Youngway said, he left a seed of truth, and in that seed was wholly planted until the soul of man. And man is but a part of Allah. And he's made in the image and likeness of Allah. And so with that, I'm going to say peace and blessings and turn the floor back over to the Divine Minister Sheikh Rayamail, Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister Young Day, peace love you, Sheikh, for your strength, alhamdulillah, for blessings from the God of your heart and our divine instructions. Give thanks and praises. Floor is still open, Moors. Floor is still open. Exercise your five senses, make your presence known. If you're just joining us, please feel free to tell us who you are and from where you're calling. But make your presence known either way. Islam, beloved.
Islam. This is Deputy Sheikah Norma Solomon Eel, calling out of the Bronx County in the New York Republic. First and foremost, I rise to my highest heights, giving all perfect praise and the highest honor to Allah, the Mother, Father, God of the universe. I remain standing, giving honor to all true and divine prophets, namely Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, Confucius, and to our illustrious prophet in this new era of time, Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the first, second, and third form. I remain standing and extending honor to our National Grand Sheikh, Joe Bratton Bay, to our officials on the call, our beloved Divine Minister, our Sheikh, our other Divine Minister, Sheikh Lawrence Young Bay, as well as Sheikh Rayamaya Il, to all of our Sheikhs, all of our Sheikesses, our Deputy Sheikesses, to our Deputy Sheikhs, to all of our members citizen students, and any guests that might be on the call this evening. I greet all in and with Islam. Great demonstrations on the floor. Everybody was on point, right, and exact. This chapter is big, and it's a lot of information, a lot of history given, in this chapter. And, as we keep coming on this call and we keep studying our lessons that, laid down to us from our illustrious prophet, the more of understanding, understanding, and overstanding comes. What stands out to me in this chapter, because it is a lot, is verse 30. Actually, it's verse 29 and verse 30, and it reads, "To you I come, the first of all the race to be transmuted to the image of Allah. What I have done, all men will do. What I am, all men shall be." That right there speaks to the lower self, for me, exercising my five, and it takes us back to our one-on-one keys when the question is asking, can a man be a Negro, black, colored, etc., and the answer is no. And, the next question is why? It says because we are made in the image and after the likeness of God, Allah. And then we also have to remember that, we are spiritual beings clothed in soul and also clothed in flesh, and our flesh is carnal, and the desires, the human natures, the murky ethers of the flesh is the flow that we must fight, but we know that Allah is leading and victory is sure, but we do have to fight these battles. Jesus was in the wilderness. He had to look at the man in the mirror, and that's what we do constantly. We look at the man in the mirror. We look at the woman in the mirror, but as we study these lessons, right, we rise. We rise to our highest height. That's what it means. We become transmuted, from that lower self to that higher self. It starts with our naturalization process, the moral school and law history, and as we keep coming and we keep gaining information and we keep getting these lessons, the transmutation process continues. We begin to be able to use those tools of the workshop of the mind. Brother, I believe it was Brother Curtis Douglas demonstrated on that, the square and the compass. We begin to, draw circles, using that compass around our passions. Those things those old habits and those old people, places, and things that, we just couldn't seem to let go, we let go. We begin to seek the divine. We begin to, seek after the spirit. And so, and that's what Jesus did. We know that a prophet is a thought of Allah, and as we discussed on Sunday school, prophets don't have a choice. They don't have the free will. But it didn't mean that he didn't battle with the flesh. And so when Jesus says, everything I've done, all men can do, that's a big encouraging word right there. That he has the same battles that we do, that he's no different than we were. And so I love that verse because it keeps, it doesn't make it seem so hard, that we can't overcome. That we cannot do better for ourselves, and so basically that's what I got from that. This was a wonderful call, and I'll turn the floor back over to the moderator. Peace.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Solomon Neal, for your sharing in this moment, giving thanks and praises to all who have shared so far. If you've just joined us again, you're welcome to check in at any time. And we're exercising our five senses on chapter 19. definitely check it. Brother Grand Chief, if you're on the line, let it be known. And, of course, we can turn the floor over to you at any time as we continue and move forward in our conversation. So the floor is still open. The floor is still open.
Islam.
Exercise for 5 seconds, small as it is. Islam.
Islam. This is Deputy Sheikis E. Marie Libe calling out of the Arizona Republic. I'm just checking in for the evening. I apologize for my lateness of being on the call. I was working. I just would like to say happy holy night to everyone on the call. Peace.
Islam, Deputy Sheikis Libe, welcome. Happy to hear your voice, beloved. We're glad, as they say, better late than never, but we're always happy to hear you. Sometimes you're just on the time that we're on. It's not that we're not late, you're just not on the schedule that's been established, but you're on time. So welcome. Good thanks. Floor is still open, beloveds. Anyone wishing to exercise for 5 sentences or, as the Deputy Chief just did, making your presence known.
Islam. Islam, Brother Wimbush, Andre Wimbush. Just like to give my 5 senses. Like to give praises to Allah, honors to the Prophet, first, second, and third form, honors pre-given. I just want to drop on number 9, and Jesus sat in the vacant chair. I can recall when I came to the Moorish Science Temple of America, and I was sitting down, and somehow my eyes was just always drawn to the vacant chair. I didn't know why, but it just did. And I used to say to myself, why they got a vacant chair there? But it looked so beautiful because the way how they had it decorated and flowers, and it was just so, how they decorated looked so magnificent. And then one day a brother had gave a study on it. And I said, oh, wow, that's why. That's beautiful, you know what I'm saying? And reading this chapter, and other chapters, I was more linking of understanding why. And I said, man, that's a beautiful demonstration, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get it from the Bible. I said, dang, Jesus just came and sat down in a vacant chair and just, man, you know what I'm saying? It's how the Moorish Science Temple of America, how they got it set up, you know. And this chapter 2, I take it as a two-way, because we coming into this Constitution fold and coming off that dead state, black, color, Negro, and all that. According to science, black meant death. You know, we resurrecting ourselves to knowing that who we really are, Moors. So I look at that point of view of a different era, time, and resurrection to knowing ourselves. And the more we be pure in heart and have love like Jesus, love made manifest. And we'll do the things that he can do. But first, we got to learn that love within. Love everything, everyone, everybody, you know, pure in heart, you know. We got to have that love divine, you know, words, action, deeds, and thoughts. Then, we can resurrect and be like he said we be. Because Jesus himself was the true one, the light. And we see that light. We walk in that light and follow behind the great prophet. You know, and our prophet is great, 5 times powerful. Say, we just blessed out of natural. We just plain old blessed. We super blessed, you know, to get this divine information, come back into these schools of thought, get this secret pamphlet. 18 years is a blessing. I came to y'all in love, and I leave you in peace. Peace.
Islam, Brother Andre Wimbush, thank you for your sharing. More that he left. There's a lot in the chapter as we're hearing, and everyone picks up what they pick up. So remember to mute your phone when you're not speaking, and we'll take one more exercise. So don't be shy. Come forward.
Islam.
One more before we close. Islam.
No.
Islam, divine. Islam, I yield.
All right, more. Islam, brother, yielded to someone?
Islam or?
Islam, Deputy Chief, go ahead.
Bismillah. Ever rise and giving perfect praises to Allah and all His true and divine prophets, to illustrious evil prophet in these days and time, and our national grand chief and our officials in Baltimore, all my beloved brothers and sisters on the call, and all our Muslim brothers all over the world. Just want to say it's all about love and purity. At the end of the chapter, it mentioned Yahya John, and in chapter 3, I think, my memory is right, it speaks on Yahya and the mothers of Yahya revealing the truth, light to these brothers for they getting forward to higher self, Allah. Islam, return the floor.
Islam. Thank you, Brother Deputy Chief, the revealers of the light. Yes. Chapter 3. It's true. It's good. We are coming to a time, an end period of our call. So we want to make sure everyone gets a chance. But just again, Brother Grand Sheik, are you on the line? If so, start signing with your phone, and we'll turn the floor over to you. In the interim, we will continue to move forward. I want to really show my particular appreciation for all those who did step forward to speak this evening and encourage everyone. You know, and I look at the list here, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people who exercise their 5 senses out of the 30-something we have on the line. 2 children included who checked in. And I know that most of us, you know, when we come into the temple, this knowledge can seem overwhelming, to say the least. As it at the end of the chapter, it indicates, and actually that part is there because we're now closing one part of our Circle 7 out, these first 19 chapters, when it speaks about these events occurred during the 18 years. That is closing out this particular section from chapter 1 through chapter 19, because next chapter starts a different section of thought and a different section, a level of teaching. But this is to mark that there are 18 years of life that are missing, you know, and in the Bible it tells us that Jesus is in the temple and debating with the doctors of law at the age of 12, and then it says something like he grew in grace, and next thing we know he's appearing at the River Jordan to be baptized by his cousin Yahya. So we have been given in these divine instructions the opportunity to look into, to an insight into what actually occurred, how he grew in grace, traveling to India and the farther parts of the East, sitting in the mystic schools of the East, becoming a part of a member of the Royal a member of the Silent Brotherhood, and then a member of the Royal Council of the Silent Brotherhood, by his words, works, and deeds, and all to manifest one thing, to bring one thing to point that we can do the same. We can all overcome our carnal selves and rise in our higher selves. And as Deputy Shiva Samanil indicated, it's a battle. It is a battle. The prophet tells us it's experience that cannot be told in words, but yet we must manifest it so that the shadow of our lower self passes away. It is no lower self for us. Alhamdulillah. So those of you who are with us, and I encourage you whether it's in Sunday school or whether it's here at the Holy Night Call, to participate, to exercise your 5 senses, and say what's on what Allah has put on your mind as you overstand these lessons. It is important that we share like that, giving thanks and praises to the Most High for the presence of each of you on our call this evening. We all know we moved from the Friday night fish fry to the Friday Holy Night call, and alhamdulillah for that elevation. Let us continue that. This call can be heard on our website, www.MoorishAmericanNationalRepublic.com. Go to the resource tab, and under there you see the Holy Night calls. And when you open that link, it'll link you into the archives for all of our Holy Night calls, and you can listen to any of them at the website. I imagine it'll be on the website within the next few days, as is with our Sunday school call, which happens every Sunday right now at 12 noon Eastern Daylight Savings Clock. Please join us every Sunday at 12 noon Eastern Time for the exercise of our Moorish Sunday School. Our Moorish Sunday School is in 3 parts. We open up with our laws, of course, and confirm ourselves to our 101 questions and answers. We have our children's Sunday School segment, and then our adult Sunday School segment. So every Sunday, 12 noon, feel free to join us. Bring your family and friends at this number, 443-961-4434. The Sunday evenings at 7:30 p.m. is our town hall call. During the town hall call, we reflect upon and talk about the proclamations of emancipation, the original 13th Amendment with 20 sections, and more as the subjects that relate thereto. So please feel free to join us. Ask your family, tell your family and friends about it. It's an open invitation. These are all public calls. Our Holy Night call 9 p.m. on Friday, our Sunday school call 12 noon on Sunday, and our town hall call 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, all Sunday evening at this number, 443-961-4434. Feel free to join us. Invite your family and friends. We are happy to have you with us at all times. At all times. We have small opportunities to share information. The Moorish School of Law and History is in session. We just had our orientation class Wednesday, so the first class for the last course, Nationality and Identification course for this year. The last course for this year is this Wednesday coming. If you wish to join the Moorish School in Law and History, go to our website again, www.MorishAmericanNationalRepublic.com. Hit the resource tab, and then either the citizenship link or the Moorish School in Law and History link will get into the process. If you're contemplating that, just do it together, because the longer you wait, the more homework you have to catch up with. So it's better to go in the process at the beginning if you can. I see it making it easier for each of the students. So please join us if you're interested in learning more about the Moorish School of Law and History and all that we have to offer there, Islam. Are there any announcements from any of our national officials at this time?
Islam.
Well, Islam, Prime Minister.
Islam. This is Sheikh Lawrence Young Bay, National Treasurer, Divine Minister out of North Carolina Republic, re-rising. This administrative announcement is from the Treasury. This administrative announcement is to the members. When mailing your dues, please include your dues card with a photocopy of your dues card. In the upper right-hand corner of your dues card, you will see the letters DON and a blank line, which stands for the date of naturalization. Write the date you were naturalized on that line. If DON is not written in the right-hand corner, write the date you were naturalized anyway on that corner, in that corner. Make 2 copies. Keep 1 copy home for your record. Include the month and year you are paying your dues. Also, if you change your address, please indicate so with a note when you mail your dues card. This is so we can update and mark the records correctly. This concludes my administrative announcement for the Moorish Science Temple of Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, Moorish American National Republic. I turn it back into the hands of the moderator, Sheikh Rayamah Islam. Thank you for the time, Moon.
Alhamdulillah, Brother Divine Minister. Thank you for the share. Divine warning by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslims, governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform our members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive the reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their carding buttons, cease wearing their turban and fairs, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. If the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet to the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Jew Ali. At this time, may Allah remind us to keep us from misleading and being misled, deceiving and being deceived, betraying and being betrayed. With that, we remind ourselves, Star, Holy Covenant of the Asiatic nation. We are the children of one Father, provided for by his care.
We are the children of one Father, provided for by his care.
And the breast of one mother hath given us suck.
And the breast of one mother hath given us suck.
Let the bonds of affection therefore unite us with our brothers and sisters.
Let the bonds of affection therefore unite us with our brothers and sisters.
That peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house.
That peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house.
And when we separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth us to love and unity.
And when we separate, remember the relation that bindeth us to love and unity.
And prefer not a stranger before our own blood.
And prefer not a stranger before thy own blood.
If our brother is in adversity, assist him. If our sister is in trouble, forsake her not.
If our brother is in adversity, assist him. If our sister is in trouble, forsake her not.
So shall the fortunes of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race.
So shall the fortunes of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race.
And his care be continued to us all.
And his care continue to us all.
In our love to each other.
And our love to each other.
Islam, all about the love, all about the love. Those who are able to rise, face the east, direct posture, heels together, toes separated 45-degree angle, upper arms parallel to the floor, forearms perpendicular thereto. For 2 fingers resting together on the left, on the right hand, 5 fingers resting together on the left hand for our Moorish American prayer. Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Jew Ali. Ameen. Islam Moors, this concludes our holy night call for this Friday, the 2nd of July, 2021 Gregorian. We love you all for being here. I love you all. Love you all. And sending you all off with Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.